Well, such is the nature of it, Darren. The challenges just keep on coming. Is this the toughest one so far with Sunderland?
Well, we don't know until Saturday. I think we've got to always look at, me as manager, the first thing I look at is always our own performance, always, and how we can affect the game with our own players. Obviously respect the opposition, whoever it is we play against. We don't fear them, we respect them. But it's always about us and what level of performance we can get to. And saying that, you would expect Sunderland to be giving us a right tough game because they've got some very, very good players, and I fully expect them to be one of the teams that are challenging right up the top.
Well, you've certainly set the standards high after last week. You've got a performance there that you can really take into this one.
Yeah, it was a level of performance that's better than anything so far this season. We were ruthless, clinical, clean sheet. But when you watch the game back, there was still moments where we need to improve on. There was certain areas where a half a yard this way or that way they could have scored a couple of goals. So we probably won't get away with that against Sunderland. So there's certain things we need to work on. And the key thing for me is we need to keep improving. And I keep saying that regardless of, we lost a couple, now we've won a couple. You can't go from there to there. You've got to just stay level and continue doing what we set out to do from the start of the season. But the players will look in good form, confident, scoring goals. We look a threat. I have to say we look a threat. We've scored 8 goals, league goals in the last 3 games. So that is very, very good. If we can keep getting the clean sheets, then it'll go a long way to helping us.
Yeah, and of course you want more from your side, and maybe you don't care when it comes to the perception of other clubs, but do you think it was the sort of result where if you were looking at another team, would you sit up and take notice after what you did last
I think anyone that wins 4-0 away from home, you have to probably say, well, that's a hell of a result, and that's how I look at it. It was a very, very good result. I mean, there's no denying that. There's no point quoting over the fact it was a very good performance and a very good result. And if we continue to that level, then we'll give anyone a game, we know that. But we've got to be consistent in what we do, and that's the most important thing. And we've got to keep working hard, keep taking the information on, and whether it be tactical stuff, as we did today on Sunderland, and finding a way of winning games.
Yeah, the sense of occasion with the Ipswich match a couple of weeks back really seemed to work for you. Do you think you can maybe do the same in terms of taking something from the atmosphere?
Well, it's going to be a very good atmosphere. We experienced that at the end of last season when we went all the way with them, and obviously 2 late goals. It was a draw. We've experienced against Ipswich, so there's no reason why that can't be anything but a motivation for us. These are the games you want to be playing in. These are the games we hope we're having every week next season. If we get, the aim is to obviously get promoted. If we get promoted, these are the games that we'll get every week pretty much. And there's a lot of clubs that are going to give that sort of atmosphere. Already this first month we're going to have Ipswich, Sunderland, you've got Lincoln, Rotherham, Coventry. They'll all bring a lot of support, so that's great for us. And to get these 2 in the first month is great, because generally gates are not as high as you would expect because of the holidays and all the rest of it, but that's helped us a lot. So it's a game we're all looking forward to. I think it'll be an exciting game. You never know how the game's going to go, but I think there'll be goals in this one.
Yeah, have Sunderland got into a bit of a groove now because they've changed things around a little bit early on, but they found a good formula?
I think they have. They won the last 5. They changed the 7-8 players from the starting lineup against Wimbledon to play Burnley, and we've still won. They've got a very strong squad. They're scoring goals. They're looking good, I have to say. I've watched them. It'll be a tough game on Saturday, we know that. And they're obviously going into it with a lot of confidence, as we are. So you would expect a very tight tussle between the 2 teams.
Is the injury situation still looking good?
Injury-wise, we seem fine. We seem fine, touch wood, but the boys looking good fell. The ones that haven't been playing, they look good. We did a lot of work with them this week. So it's looking good at the moment in terms of that, and the boys are looking fit. And we've managed to get a lot of work into the ones that haven't been playing on a regular basis.
I know it's always an element of luck of the draw with injuries, but you must be delighted with the opening weeks that you've had pretty much everyone available all of the time. That must make life so much easier.
It does. Consistency in starting lineups can help. The last 3 games have been the same starting team, so Obviously, we'll see what Saturday brings, but I think that does help. But it's important that the other ones don't lose confidence or belief in themselves, and I've got to manage that with the staff, and we do focus a lot on that. So it's important that we keep on top of them, and they play a massive part. And you're not going to have the same team every week. There's absolutely no chance. That's why we've got a squad. We're still trying to get the numbers down with people going out. We may still add certainly one more midfield player if we can. But at the moment, I'm looking at the squad. We want the numbers to be right around about 20, 21 outfield players, and if we can get ones out, we're going to be around that mark. So that's going to be ideal.
Yeah, in terms of that balancing act with giving people minutes, it was nice to have the opportunity against MK to get both Joe Ward and Dembele on.
Well, yes, I think all three substitutions that came on Saturday did very well. It was a good game for them to come into, I have to admit. Dembele's, unfortunate that the change of shape and the two strikers where we see him that's his position in the shape of flying. So he has to be patient. But he's another one that can't get frustrated, and it's important that we give him time. And he's a fantastic sub, I think, in particular when we're winning, because his pace gives you a different dimension, real pace. And the game's stretched and the big spaces suit them. So I thought he did very well. Wardy was excellent when he came on. Understands that position better than he did last season. And then Burrows, who we think is going to, if he continues his progression, will be a very, very good player for us. So he was excellent when he came on. The big thing about Burrows is he's got the temperament it looked almost as if he'd been playing every week for us. So yeah, I was delighted with them and the ones on the bench. It's important that we all stick together. We all know that we were after the same thing. And a big part of my job is to manage the ones that are not starting at the moment.
Yeah, George Cooper heading out on loan to Plymouth. Is the challenge for him just to be playing week in, week out?
Yeah, it's frustrating for George and frustrating for me in many ways, in the sense that as a manager, your job's to try and get the best out of everyone. And I think the frustrating thing for both of us was I couldn't get a regular starting place for George. What didn't help him last season was when he got injured at Walsall. He got in the team, he did well, but it was one or two, it was very sporadic. And a player I like, he's got lots of talent. He needs to go out and play every week. He needs to find a level that he's playing every week on a regular basis, knows he's going to be playing every week. And I think that's when you're going to get the best out of him. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that.
What's your expectation with the other players you've got available for transfer at this stage? Do you think you'll be able to do deals for them all before the deadline? How do you think that'll work out?
Well, we hope. Barry's trying every minute of the day to try and get something done, because we feel it is important. Not just for now, but longer term. If people have got contracts for next season, perhaps if a loan becomes a permanent, it's probably more likely they're going to be loans now. And there's one or two clubs interested in Woodyard and Naismith and O'Hara. There is interest. I think the situation with Bolton might ignite one or two of them. So we'll wait and see. But Barry's trying his hardest to get them out. As a club, we feel it's important that they move on with their careers. I've got to balance the books. There's a lot come in. We need to get some out. So. And I think also for them, they've got to be playing regular football. The names I've just mentioned, I think it's important for them.
With your goalkeepers, have you got enough time that if they both went, you could get someone else in?
Yes.
Yes, you can still get that.
We have someone lined up. If we manage to get both out, there's someone ready to come in. But I don't think that's looking very likely.